Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining and
Thank you.
welcome to the Cultural Brokers Network of Canada webinar series. The CBNC is a nonprofit organization, and it supports and promotes the work of cultural brokers working in various sectors across Canada, and it was established in 2023. I'm not sure uh, if everybody has the website, but I will put it in the chat in case anybody wants to have a look at that. My name is Jonathan Wade, and I'm the Digital Communications Coordinator for the National Cultural Brokers Project, and I work at Manitoba Possible in Winnipeg, and I'll be your host for today's event. So in this webinar, we'll learn the basics of playback theater forms and refine improvisation skills and sharing the experience of hearing each other's stories and bringing them to life. Before we introduce today's presenter, I'll go through a few housekeeping items. So normally we have cameras and microphones muted to just kind of allow for better clarity and less feedback. But with this one, it'll be a bit more of an interactive session. So we'll kind of keep the ability for people to turn on their microphones and their cameras. But yeah, if you have any kind of questions as we go, I'm sure you can put them in the chat or you can kind of ask Bonfas as we go. But today's presenter is Bonfas Betty. So Bonfas is a transcultural storyteller and expressive arts facilitator and peace builder. He has worked with Amani People's Theatre, the Green String Network, Wheat Institute, and Aurora Family Therapy Center within the newcomer and settlement community. He holds an MA degree in peace building from the University of Manitoba in Canada, a certificate in use of arts and peace building from Canadian School of Peace Building, as well as being a certified holder of International Theatre of the Oppressed and Playback Theatre trainer qualifications. He's currently admitted into the CAG's PhD program in use of expressive arts and conflict transformation at European Graduate School in Switzerland, and also pursuing PhD studies in peace and conflict studies at University of Manitoba. He's worked in Kenya, South Sudan, South Africa, Netherlands, Somalia, Sierra Leone, Rwanda, US, and Canada, among others. He has served as a committee member for the Cultural Humility and Diversity Committee of the North American Drama Therapy Association, and he's a member of the board for the pedagogy and theater of the oppressed PTO, as well as on the International Expressive Arts Association Committee. He's currently serving on the executive board of Impact, an international organization working on the role of the arts and culture on conflict transformation. He's adept at using creative methods and ritual to support cultural brokers' work by weaving new and emergent stories for transformation. So we can kick it off and we'll go over to you, Bonfas.
Okay. Thanks, Jonathan. I apologize. I sent you this very long that bio.
No, it's good.
I have tried to shorten it just to say I'm a storyteller and a facilitator. So the rest can always fit there at the back. But thank you. So this session basically is like 1 hour session focusing on playback theater. And so because we are a small group, I anticipated to have a bigger group. I am going to make some adjustments on the fly to make it a rich experience for all of us. So I really would recommend, because I think we have 5 of us in this room now. I wish all of us were in the same room, seeing one another to do the activities, because the off camera will work better if we were 50, but yeah, we can do a few. So I'm going to make the session a little bit just be us and be a session where you can be able just to use this moment to check in, find out how we are doing then. So the session today was more or less exploring the theme of making beauty together. And we are still going to stick on that. And then I'm going to do small exercise. We are going to do small exercises together from playback theater and also what else? So playback theater exercises, and then sharing of stories. And I will also invite us, if we are able to, for these few minutes, if you can be, wherever you are, if you can be able to find like drawing things or creative things you can create or objects you can talk of, share with, or something you can tell a story about, an artwork, or something you can draw. We can spend a few minutes trying to create beauty. But right now, I just invite us also to think about what does creating, like what does beauty mean for you? And beauty is a word that has been kind of been used in the capitalistic sense of the word to look at aesthetics, but beauty is inherently something that all human beings we have. And when I thought about beauty with the work of cultural brokering, I was thinking about what are some of those beautiful moments we find in our work of cultural brokering. You know, that's the question we can sit with in this room. What are those beautiful moments or beautiful things about the work of cultural broker? Are there any stories you can remember from your work, even facilitating or organizing these kind of events? Tracy, welcome. Samantha. Samantha had to create some beauty background for us before she could appear, which is good, Samantha. And that's so cool. I love that background. So, oh, there's Mary as well. So, Mary, you're welcome. Yeah.
Thank
so,
you.
Yeah. Oh, this is my friend Mary, right?
Yes, I am.
This, Mary, please come on the camera if you don't mind.
Oh, I'm not able to because I'm just preparing to get to go to
Okay.
work and I'll be
Okay.
driving, so I may not be
Oh
able to
yeah.
do that
Okay.
right now.
But you can.
I'm sorry about that.
But you can. If you can participate, that's fine. You
Yes, I
can.
will try
Your
and
voice.
okay.
Your
Okay.
voice. Your voice will still be as important. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. But welcome. So. First, we'd like just to do a quick check-in. So with playback theater, basically, playback theater is we say it's improvised theater that takes the stories of the audience members in the moment, and then the stories are played by a troupe. So if we are a performing troupe, I could check in, for example, with Jonathan, and then find out, Jonathan, how are you doing in this moment? Like, and then he will tell me, I'm feeling good, or I'm feeling this way. And then the playbackers will play the story using image. They create a picture of how you're feeling, movement and sound, and they will freeze. And then they will check in with you to find out if that captured the essence of how you're feeling in the moment. So that's what playback theater is all about. And then, yeah, so that's playback theater. So there are different types of playback theater forms, and they're just storytelling theater methods that we use to represent or to tell stories of people in the moment. So we start by checking in, and how we check in playback theater is we ask you how you're doing, and then it's very interactive. So the audience members, who are ourselves, we try to play back, we mirror back how you're feeling. So I will check in with all of us, and we'll check in like in using sound and movement. How will you express how you're feeling now? So it's intuitively checking with yourself, and then sound and movement, and then we play back to you as an honoring activity, as an honoring action to the story, to the person who shared how they are feeling. So we can do that so that whoever will watch this video later, they can also use this for their own practice. So I would like to find out, and so Majabin, how are you feeling right now in terms of sound and movement? Usually when we do playback theater, we stand, or whichever way you find yourself comfortable to express sound and movement, which is basically an action and sound, how you're feeling in the moment. So how are you feeling, Majabin?
Okay,
In terms
so
of
I will
sound and
thank you
movement.
for giving me this chance to speak.
Yeah.
Since I'm not habitual of expressing myself
Yeah.
using sounds and movements, I will do
Yeah.
that. But first, I will express how I'm feeling in words,
Yes.
and then maybe I will try to use
Okay.
other things,
Okay.
methods.
Sure.
So, like attending your session, like when I was a child, I was a very studious and responsible type of child. And I studied in a very conventional education system where they think that the students who are studious and hardworking, they should pick science subjects. So because of that, I couldn't get chance to explore what my interests are.
Yeah.
So, but now in my middle age, I am trying to, explore myself and having that journey of self-awareness where I actually know what I enjoy doing. And I should do things not out of responsibility, but out of my passion and my wish.
Yeah.
So I found myself that I like expression. I like dance. I like songs. I like music. I like poetry a lot. And the type of work you do, like storytelling, and then, expressing yourself through different measures, means. So that's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling excited because this is my chance to explore myself further and how, this theater and this form of expression could help me express myself better.
Yeah, that's good. That's your sound and movement. We take that to be your sound and movement. Thank you so much.
So how do you expect me to like express it?
So with the playback theater, so there's no right and wrong, first of all. So it's just like if you are to say all that you've said with a movement and a sound.
Okay.
So an example I can give you. So like in this moment, being in front of all of us, I am feeling like,
Yeah.
Okay, so that's my expression. And in playback theater, so I will invite you all to honor me by doing that action and sound to me as a mirroring. That's why it's called playback. So I'll do it and then I'll say 1, 2, 3, and then try to play it back, and then we'll go around. Is that something we can do? Let us be playful a little bit. Taking you away from the mind and cognitive and yeah. So I'm feeling like 1, 2, 3, one fast. Go, feel like one fast. Thank you. And so now, Majabin, how are you feeling now?
Okay. Majabin is feeling
with sound and movement.
Mm.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Thank you, Majabin. And Jonathan, what is the feeling inside there? Expressive sound and movement.
I think I'm feeling just a little.
I feel like. Thanks, Jonathan. And Samantha, with all this beautiful background there, well, how are you feeling this morning? I like that. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo!
Because Samantha looks like a naughty person, naughty girl. So she has this.
The expression
She is.
Honestly,
She is.
Hajibin,
you've nailed it. That's exactly it.
And guess what? All of you are like the creatives. I am very sure. My theater is the theater of everyday people. So, Tracy, how are you feeling in this moment with sound and movement?
Well, it's St. Patrick's Day, so I'm feeling diddly 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 dee.
Oh, I love. Let's go. Let's feel with her. You know, you just reminded me. My brother, and may his soul rest in peace, was called Patrick.
Oh,
And he was called Patrick because an Irish priest told my mom that there was this day called St. Patrick's Day. And they named him like that. Thank you so much for remembering.
really? So today
Yeah.
is his day. Today is
Today
his
is his
day.
day. So I just remember today in the morning.
Yeah.
Patrick.
And everyone is celebrating in Bonfast. How special is that?
Yeah, it's amazing. Thank you. And Mary, with your voice alone, how are you feeling with sound? That's so cool. Okay, let's play back Mary's sound. That's very awesome. Thank you for sharing that, Mary. Yeah. Any reflections on sound and movement activity?
Makes you smile. It makes you smile a lot, right? Like it's very smiley. I like that.
It's very smiley. You like it?
Yes.
Samantha, what did you want to say?
It made me feel connected with everybody because we were all, we were mimicking each other and people, and it felt kind of respectful as well because everyone's sounds, we were respecting them by doing that back to them. And so it had that mixture of feeling connected with people, respecting people, and just even doing that, like literally has lifted my spirits. Like I feel joyous.
Wow. Yeah. And because it's based on how you're feeling in this moment. So it's sound that is coming from your inner world, which is very beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah, so amazing. So I would like us also now, so with Playback Theatre, we do, if you are in a real space, one like in person, we can do that. You can imagine if you did that, it would be so beautiful also in person. But in Zoom, we also do it. So, and it's a very good way to connect with people at a deeper level without necessarily just using words to describe connection, using embodiment as a language. So we will also, so I would like us to spend some time, because we are exploring this topic of beauty, creating beauty together. I want you to think about some of the stories from your work. And from your work doesn't mean necessarily like your work, but even like how your everyday life is linked to your work life. So everyday stories that we have. And I want you to think of a beautiful moment in your story right now, probably. And so maybe I'll give us like 3 minutes to explore. If you can create, you can draw, or you have a song. I heard you, Majabin, talking about singing or poetry. You have a poem, whatever comes up for you, you want to draw or something. Capture any beautiful moment from your work or from your life. We are making beauty together. So I'll give you like 5 minutes. You can walk around, you can go wherever you want, take a piece of paper, draw something, glass of water. We'll come back in 5 minutes just to explore, to share some of those moments together. Yeah, 5 minutes, I think. So I'd like to check in, like to hear where people are in this moment. Like what came up for people in terms of thinking of a moment of beauty from your work or life, making a small expression, using a drawing, song, picture, poem, the meaning of beauty in your life. Who wants to go? Okay, Samantha, go for it.
Yes, I'm going to go first because I was doing something anyway to do with when we all gathered as brokers in Toronto, and it was on last Thursday night, and we had all come together from different parts of the country because we were the Metropolis presenting team. And there was Shaquila and Tiffany and Sally from Laurentian University. There was Michael from MCHB. There was Lorne Green for MCHB. Who else? Who am I missing? There was Tracy, there was me.
Namira.
Oh, and Namira, and the wonderful Mira from Umbrella. And we came together and it was late. It was late on a Thursday night. Everybody had had a really big day at the conference. And I didn't know that anyone was going to show up to this meeting to do a run through of the presentation. We'd met online and we'd been emailing each other backwards and forwards prior to Metropolis happening. But this was the first time that we were going to have a run through. So I kind of played around with it and got a little help. But here is my poem that I literally just shared with the Metropolis team on the WhatsApp group. And so it's called The Metropolis Team in Toronto. Whoa. In the heart of Toronto, where city lights gleam, we gathered as brokers, a powerful team. From coast to coast, we had traveled so far, now side by side under one guiding star. We practiced our lines, we sharpened our flow, we tweaked every message, let confidence grow. One missed sentence, another one tripped. We laughed till our sides and our spirits were flipped. Wow. The room was alive with stories and cheer, not just rehearsing, but building what's clear. That this work we do, this passion we share, is stronger together, beyond just a chair. So as the night faded, we left with a spark, a bond that would last beyond Toronto's dark. For when brokers unite, the world feels the shift, and voices once silenced now rise and uplift.
Yay! Let us appreciate by shaking our hands.
That's the way deaf people applaud bonfires. That's lovely because this is ASL for clapping.
Yes. Yeah. So Tracy, you are there. How does that make you? Like, what's coming up for you? Listen to that poem.
She just captured it really well. It was just such a lovely time for us all to be together. Yeah, she captured it really well.
Yeah, I'm painting pictures in my head how it was looking like just listening to those words, the image is coming up for me. Yeah, thank you so much, Samantha, for sharing that. Anyone who wants to respond to Samantha's poem, like anything came up for you, Jabin and Jonathan and Mary?
Yeah, so Samantha, it was beautiful. The poem was beautiful. I would sing a song. It's in my language, so I will just sing the first line, not much, but it's a romantic song, but I will relate it to my work, to our work of cultural program.
That's what came up for you, right? In the moment? Yeah.
Okay. जादू भरी आँखों वाली सुनो, जादू भरी आँखों वाली सुनो, तुम ऐसे मुझे देखा न करो, तुम ऐसे मुझे देखा न करो. So it means that a girl with
first we have to do the
Okay.
The rainfall.
Thank you. Yeah. So it means that a girl with magical eyes, please don't look at me like that. Otherwise, it will be difficult for me to resist to fall in love with you. So that's what it means.
Wow.
So how I related with our work is that, like, eyes are really magical. Sometimes the expression which you cannot give through words, and sometimes, like, we as cultural broker, we meet with so many different people, ethnocultural groups. Sometimes they do not express themselves because they don't know English and a common language. So but when they get supported, their eyes tell that they are feeling thankful and they are feeling supported. So eyes are magical, eyes are beautiful.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Wow, that's so beautiful. In other cultures, I think in one of our cultural groups in Africa, they say, like, the eyes are the windows into the soul. No, that's so cool. It just reminded me that. Thank you for sharing, Wanjibin. So cool. I see how many eyes are in these Zoom rooms. That says how much beauty is in the room. So thank you so much.
And one interesting point is that 3 people are hiding their magical eyes behind these glasses.
Our eyes are so powerful, we have to shade them.
We see through the closed windows of Zoom. Yeah, but that's so cool. But yeah, you just, like, there are things we see even when we don't look, right? Even in our mind, we are seeing so many things, pictures, images coming up. So thank you. Who else wants to share?
I'll go.
Tracy.
I don't know whether you can see it, so I'm going to have to turn my background off, which means I will reveal a very messy art room.
But
let me just turn this background off, and then please do not judge me on my messy art room because it's messy.
No worries.
So I like to do lithographs, and I've been playing with doing lithographs. And this is a one that I did a while ago. And it's of a lighthouse. And so when I did it this way, right? So the ink was really dark. And then when you do the lithograph again, it gets lighter. And then it gets lighter, right? But it's kind of how I feel about how people feel when they're looking for help, and from cultural brokers and from the work that we do, is that, you know, people hear about there might be someone to help them, and it's like they're looking for this light. And then they think they found someone, and they're moving towards it and getting the help. And then all of a sudden, there it is. There's the person that's going to help them, right? They can see clearly that person's there for them. They feel kind of bathed in the light, and they always know where to go for help. And so when I was trying to think of how I could, and it always brings me joy. It always brings me joy when we have a new client who expresses to us how happy they are to be with us and to get the help that they need. They've gone from this, where they're not sure where to get help, to this, where they're just surrounded with the light of the help that they're receiving. So that's why I'm showing you this.
Wow.
Thank you.
That is the real meaning of beauty. We have to do this for you, the rain.
I have to get rid of my messy background again really quickly. Let's just get rid of the mess. There you go. Hey!
It looks so artistic, that background. I couldn't even see any single mess. I just see, I saw beauty. Yeah, but thank you so much for sharing that. Did anything come up for anyone when she was sharing that, like, lighthouse? So just amazing. Thanks, Tracy. Yeah. Yeah, Jonathan.
Yeah, when I kind of had a quick look around, I was thinking that the biggest kind of thing that I've taken from, especially with CBNC and everything, and with kind of the work of cultural brokers, is kind of whenever anytime we've all been kind of together, whether it's like Sam with, Metropolis, or if it's through the gatherings that we've had, I think there's just that really strong kind of connection, and it feels very, I don't know, especially by the third gathering we had, and we had some people who had gone to all three. It was almost kind of like a very like familial kind of, it was a very like, yeah, kind of like almost like you've known these people for a long time. And so one thing I find interesting with family is I'll kind of just show, like, I have this piece, this little, it's like this little bowl. So my grandma gave this to me when I moved out of my parents' house into my own place. She's like, you should have some nice pieces. And that was her grandmother's, this,
Wow.
this little bowl. So, sorry, that was her mother. So that's my great grandmother. So this is someone I've never met before. I don't really have any, I think what's interesting is like, you don't, you can learn about, ancestors and everything, but yeah, it's interesting because you don't, I feel like it's through, kind of objects and their interests and what they pass down is how you kind of get a better understanding of who they were, because, you hear, you can hear all the stories and everything, but it's hard to kind of place yourself there. But I feel like seeing something that they, and my grandma was telling me she really liked this because she really liked fish and she liked just like different. So, so that's why.
So are those are those fish on it?
Yeah, these yeah, it might be hard to see. These two pieces are little fish kind of swimming, and it's like a bowl thing. So I just think it's interesting that kind of, yeah, you kind of feel connected to people through, if you don't, this person that would be a very important person in my life if they were still alive, I don't really feel like I know them until it's kind of like you see, you kind of can hold tangible things that they had, or kind of an insight into what they were interested in. I just feel like, yeah, like, that feeling of kind of that family feeling really came through, kind of through the gatherings and through kind of being together. And I think that really, as someone who's never personally done the work of the cultural brokering, but seeing it kind of from the outside, it just seems like that's such a big piece, is that kind of, really understanding culture and family and how it all kind of connects. And yeah, I just think that was a big feeling kind of coming out of the gatherings and everything. And yeah, just kind of through this project, I really think that that's a big piece of it. It's kind of that family connection.
Wow, family connection. So first of all, we bring the rain down, rains of blessings. But you made me, a lot of things came up for me when you're sharing. I was just thinking about like intergenerational beauty of healing work, the connection between even our own family values, ancestral connection to what we do today. Like the work of cultural brokering is kind of very visible in that object. That object is kind of reminiscent of the larger than life work of healing. Probably that's how you find yourself doing this kind of work, Jonathan.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Yeah. Anyone else? People look like something was coming up for them when they saw your object. Samantha, what were you thinking? And Tracy, something?
I was thinking what a beautiful gesture, and to make you feel connected to family that you didn't meet, and and how that lives on. It's like your grandma passed that on to you, and now you've got this tangible object that relates very much to somebody that you didn't get to meet, but it's still tangible and it's still there, and and it's a reminder of, even though we haven't met our ancestors, they're still there with us. And that's kind of what it made me think when you were talking about it.
Yeah. Very special. Thank you.
I just like the fish. I was
Oh,
looking
you
at the
like
fish.
it?
We used to have aquariums. We had one at home and then we had one here.
Uh-huh.
And they look like Japanese fighter fish on there. That's what they look like. Yeah, those are the ones that you can't put two. You usually see them on their own.
Okay.
In the
Right.
little mini tanks, because if you
Yes.
put two males together, they'll fight with each other.
Yeah.
And until they both die, right? So yes, when you see them when you're out, they're usually it's quite cruel, really. They put them in these tiny little
Yeah. I think I've seen that at stores.
little
Yeah.
tanks, and they don't and they light them up and stuff, and the fish looks great, but it's got no life. It's in this tiny little tank.
Yeah, right.
But it's unusual to see two together because of what they'll do. So on there,
Yeah,
I
true.
just thought it was interesting. I was like, oh yeah, he's got two together on the bars.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
There must be Japanese. It has to be some kind of Japanese influence on
Yeah,
it.
and I'll have to ask her now.
Jonathan.
I'm interested now to see where it came from, where she got it from, right? And that's what's interesting, right? She might have, I don't know, maybe it goes, how far back do these things go, right? It's like,
yeah, I would be very careful picking it up and showing it to people. You don't want to drop that.
I know my grandma would not be happy with me.
Yeah, Japanese, they have like there's a lot of lessons these days on something, this Japanese practice like ikigai, kind of like practices that go to ancient times, for example, about like repairing broken pottery with gold,
Gold.
the cracks with gold. There's a name for that one, of repairing cracks in Japanese. So, which is very amazing for the kind of work we are doing, repairing damage and healing cultural, almost like relationships. So
it's interesting you say that, Boniface, because in our work, when people come to us and they have those cracks that have happened in their lives, then that allows those of us who are working as cultural brokers, that's where like the light that gets into those cracks, right? That saying, the cracks are where the light gets in. That's where the brokers come into their lives, right? So it's almost like the brokers are the light that comes in through those cracks in their lives. And they're the gold. They're the gold and they're the light.
Wow. That's so it's a very powerful metaphor. So when you have time, you can check. I think there's a Japanese practice where they repair broken pottery with gold. The cracks are sealed with gold. I think it's online if you check. There's a specific name, Japanese name, which skips my mind right now. But it's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful concept. I read about it. Like the damage which we have because of different life circumstances, we can relate it to that. So the damage which is there, it's irreversible, but it depends on the way you see it. Maybe you improve yourself because of the damage. So the way they repair it, they make it more precious than it was before. So it means that adversity brings improvement in our life. So it's a beautiful concept to apply in life. And as Tracy applied it to the lives of newcomers. They can never be the way they were before, but maybe this transition makes them a better person. Of course, with the support of people around, with the support of us cultural brokers and the system.
Yeah. And that just came to me thinking about like this session is about creating beauty together, right? So creating those beautiful moments with others, especially as cultural brokers. I just found it like, it's called Kintuki. something like kintsugi. They also call it golden joinery. It's a Japanese art form, kintsugi, that repairs broken pottery with gold, emphasizing the beauty of flows and the history of an object rather than hiding damage. You know, isn't that so beautiful? Mary, are you there?
Boniface, I have a meeting and I have to leave. I'm sorry. But
no worries. But thanks for coming. Like, is there anything you would like to tell us before you leave?
I would like to say that it was an amazing session and I enjoyed a lot, and I got an opportunity to to nourish myself, which I didn't because of certain reasons, because of my perception that I am a studious person and I have to study these subjects. I think this philosophy still prevails.
Yeah.
I mean, when students opt for the subjects, they look for scope. I mean, everything has scope if you are passionate about it, not just the trends and stats you are seeing.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Lovely to see you, Mehabeen. Take care.
Thank you so much, Tracy. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Mary, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still on the road.
Okay, so what's coming up for you?
I have really enjoyed it listening.
Yeah.
And I think I don't mind hearing that more. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
And a good way to express yourself, not just with words.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
You're very much welcome, Mary. Thank you so much.
You know what, Bonfaz? What the thing, we've been a small group, but quite an intimate group as well. And I know it would have been nice if there'd been more people here for you, particularly as a facilitator, but like as a participant, I've found it really really nice to be able to share in quite an intimate little meeting, and probably wouldn't have I probably wouldn't have been the way I have been in sharing things if it had been a larger group. And I just want to thank you, because it's quite a stressful day today for Sam and I.
Yeah.
It's like all budgets in the afternoon and presenting budgets, and it's awful. It's really dry, horrible stuff. But this is really, like, I can't take the smile off my face. This has really changed how I feel about today. And like, I feel so much better, and I didn't feel like that before I came in. And I just want to thank you. I get like my cheeks hurt.
Oh, thank you so much, Tracy.
Thank you, Bonfaz. I really have enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Probably, I just want us to close with breathing in with, the shake that Tracy told us is the deaf people shake. And then taking a deep breath through your nose with your hands up like that. And release the air with a sigh or music. Take in and then release with a sigh. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, this was lovely. And yeah, this will be, and yeah, Tracy, that's a good point. I think that this will be good for, Bonfaz, I'm sorry, I don't know, why not too many people showed up to this today, but I do think that actually, when we, kind of have this recording for everybody to see later, I think it'll be an interesting thing for people to see, because they were able to kind of hear from everybody and kind of have all these different perspectives. So I think
Samantha was trying to say something before we go as well, Samantha, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that it was really engaging. I feel fabulous and just ready to take on the afternoon.
Wow.
And you have such an uplifting yet calming energy, Bonfaz. And it's really quite special. And all I could think as we're doing all of this is, the gathering's coming up. Bonfaz could do this at the gathering.
Yeah, I
like,
can't
oh,
wait
yeah.
to do it again.
Yeah, can you imagine, Kia, can you imagine kind of like doing this with with people to really get them energized and yet
because you
focused all
guys
at the
are
same
working
time?
so hard. You need this. You need a lot of resourcing. Yeah, thank you, Samantha.
Yeah, I thought it was fabulous.
Profound. That's
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. Well, yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Bonfas, and for joining us and for facilitating this, getting everybody involved. That was fantastic. And yeah, if anybody here, I'm sure knows about CBNC, but anybody who is watching this recording later, if you're interested becoming a member or following us on social media, everything is on our website, which is at culturalbrokers.ca. And yeah, there'll be another webinar next month, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, we hope to see everybody at future events, gatherings. Maybe we'll be able to to act this out in person, hopefully. So yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Bonfas, and for everybody who joined us today, and everybody who's watching this in the future.
Okay, stay safe, everyone. And Mary, thank you for being on the road and being committed to this space. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you so much. Bye, everyone.
Okay.